Role-playing a Warlock Patron Part 6. The Fathomless. This is genuinely one of my favorite subclasses. It's great flavor, great mechanics, tentacles everywhere. It's a good time. Take that how you will. But one of the other reasons that I really like it is that it gives you a ton of freedom, either as the player or as the GM, to create the story you want to tell, because the only requirement is that it's a powerful creature from beneath the waves. And there are a lot of those. Now, obviously, creatures like the Kraken and Aboleths are going to synergize really well with that sort of tentacle flavor, but you could do something like Storm Giants as well. And all these creature types are fantastic for a whole bunch of different types of campaigns. Krakens are amazing for something like a Theros campaign, where there's so many mythic Krakens and just sort of legends of Thassa and all these creatures in the deep that are weird and creepy and powerful. There's a lot of different ways to tie that into a story, even with Thassa as like an ultimate BBEG for the campaign. Storm Giants are fantastic because they're attached to so many of those classic D&D tropes and touchstones. There's several campaigns that are giant themed, and Storm Giants are just freaking cool. What if the patron is like the storm giant king or queen of like an Atlantis beneath the ocean, but giant-sized? You could flavor the tentacle-based spells from the subclass as instead being like giant arms coming out of the ground formed of water and just sort of smashing stuff. If you go Aboleth, you're kind of touching on that great old one vibe of something creepy, something eldritch. There's lots of cool, like, horror vibes that you can channel. It could work really well as a Spelljammer campaign, since you can kind of attach it to the notion that Aboleths are from elsewhere, had this giant cosmic empire well before the gods were established, and they deeply hate the gods, so there could be that classic trope of being a D&D player that's out to kill the gods or supplant them. All in service to your watery patron. Similar to the Great Old One, I think when you're role-playing these types of patrons, emphasize the weird and the unusualness of them. They are not of the surface world. They are of a completely different place. Make that clear in the way that they think about the world, they think about their interactions, and their goals are. There's an evil king trying to take over? Who cares? It's all the surface world. I'll wipe them out with a typhoon. You're focused on other things, my little warlock. Tap into those horror elements, that weird sensation you feel when you're in open water and you're just staring down into a black abyss. The abyss stares back at you. Tap into that energy, because the patron should feel like this overwhelming, undulating presence from beneath that is terrifying to behold. But they are not always evil, and I think you should allow yourself the flexibility of treating the warlock less like some sort of duped servant for an eldritch entity, and think of them more of the scion of an approaching, rising god. Something is rising from the depths, and this warlock, they are just the first of many.